There are countries in the world that we rarely hear about. These countries often go unnoticed because of their small land area and sparse population. However, what is surprising is that their per capita income exceeds the global average, and the quality of life for their residents is also very high. A prime example of such countries is Liechtenstein. The name originates from German and is officially known as the Principality of Liechtenstein. This is a country with a constitutional monarchy, where the prince is still accountable to the people and can be dethroned if necessary. Remarkably, many people don't even know about the existence of this country because it is indeed very small. Liechtenstein is nestled in a valley between Switzerland and Austria, with the Rhine Valley covering nearly half of its area, while the remaining part is dominated by the Alps. With an area of just about 160 square kilometers, Liechtenstein is one of the smallest countries in the world, ranking behind countries like San Marino, the Vatican, and Monaco. The total population of Liechtenstein is only around 40,000 people, with approximately 6,000 residing in the capital, Vaduz. Typically, in other countries, the capital is where the majority of the population is concentrated, but Liechtenstein is different. Here, most of the population lives scattered in small, peaceful villages surrounded by nature. When looking at countries worldwide, we often see that capitals hold more than a quarter of the country's population. However, Liechtenstein is completely different. Here, the majority of the population lives in small villages, surrounded by beautiful nature. It is both fascinating and unusual to see some of the world's most luxurious cars parked in front of rustic village houses. The capital, Vaduz, is located in the western part of the country and stretches vertically. Liechtenstein prides itself on having the highest literacy rate in the world, reaching 100%. In this country, there is no stress, war, or turmoil. Women have an average life expectancy of 85 years, while men live peacefully for about 79 years. This country maintained its neutrality during World War II and continued to grow while other nations were still recovering from the war's aftermath. When carefully observing the map, we can see that Liechtenstein is surrounded by Switzerland to the west, Germany to the north, Austria to the east, and Italy to the south. This means that within a few hours' drive, you can visit some of Europe's most renowned and beautiful countries, especially Zurich, the jewel of Switzerland and one of the top 3 most livable cities in the world. From Liechtenstein, it only takes about 1 hour and 40 minutes to drive to Zurich. If you ever feel bored in Liechtenstein, making a trip to Zurich is extremely easy and safe. Although Liechtenstein is located in Europe, it is not a member of the European Union. However, similar to Switzerland, Norway, and Iceland, it is part of the Schengen area. This means that if you have a Schengen visa, you can easily explore the entire country in just 1 day. However, aside from activities like mountain climbing and winter tourism, Liechtenstein doesn't have many tourist attractions. One of the most visited places in the country is Vaduz Castle, where the prince resides. But there's an interesting fact. The challenge of visiting this country from outside Europe isn't just about the visa requirement. Did you know? It might sound odd, but Liechtenstein doesn't have an airport. That's right, Liechtenstein is one of the few countries in the world without an airport. Therefore, if you want to visit this country from abroad, the only option is to travel by road. The country also has no coastline, and even the capital, Vaduz, isn't truly a large city, but more like a small town. You don't need public transportation or a car rental to explore Vaduz, as it covers only 17 square kilometers with a population of around 6,000 people. In fact, you can tour the entire city by car in just 1 hour. It's worth noting that German is the official language of Liechtenstein, and the country uses the Swiss franc as its currency. Today, Liechtenstein is considered the last remaining remnant of the Holy Roman Empire. However, just 70 years ago, this country wasn't as wealthy as it is today. At that time, the leaders had to sell off artifacts inherited from the Holy Roman Empire to save the country from bankruptcy. Now this small country is competing with Monaco to become the richest nation in the world. While most other countries are striving to reach a per capita income of $50,000, Liechtenstein has reached an impressive figure of $170,000, according to international sources. Even more remarkable is that despite such high income, the country has no external debt, holding the distinction of being the only country in the world without any foreign debt. Although located in one of the safest regions in the world geographically, Liechtenstein has a unique economic characteristic. With a small population, this country isn't suited for large-scale industrial production and lacks significant natural resources. So how did a country without the advantages of major industry or natural wealth become so wealthy? Many of you might have already guessed the secret behind this prosperity. Like Switzerland and Luxembourg, Liechtenstein has become one of the world's major investment and financial hubs. These countries have become safe havens for the wealth of companies and wealthy individuals due to their geographical locations, which are difficult to invade by powerful European nations. The influx of capital from foreign investors has turned Liechtenstein into an industrial powerhouse today. While Liechtenstein doesn't have large-scale industries, it's not without production. For instance, about 25% of the world's dental equipment and related products are manufactured within Liechtenstein's borders and exported worldwide. The country also produces automobile steering wheels and electronic cables. The significant inflow of money from the dental industry, among other sectors, has resulted in remarkably low taxes in the country. Similar to Arab countries like Kuwait, Oman, and Qatar, where income tax is almost non-existent due to oil wealth, countries like Liechtenstein and Monaco, being global banking and financial centers, find local population taxes unnecessary for government revenue. Instead, they invest in high-quality education systems and efficient health care. The unemployment rate in Liechtenstein is below 1% of the total population, and the crime rate is so low it's almost negligible. This is particularly impressive when you consider that 1% of the population is equivalent to just about 400 people. International statistics reveal an interesting fact. Liechtenstein has approximately 39,000 residents, but offers around 41,000 jobs within its borders. This means that the roughly 400 unemployed individuals are in this situation because they are not suited for the available jobs. In other words, Liechtenstein is an employment miracle where the number of jobs exceeds the population. Another unique aspect is that nearly half of the people working in companies based in Liechtenstein commute daily from Switzerland and Austria. With such a significant inflow of capital and only about 40,000 residents, the country requires expertise and knowledge from outside its borders. This shows that to become wealthy, a country doesn't necessarily need valuable resources like oil or natural gas, or geographical advantages like ports. Ensuring internal security and reinforcing it with sound economic policies can enable a nation to prosper, particularly through banking and finance. Now, let's take a closer look at Liechtenstein's economic situation and explore daily life in this country. This is the capital, Vaduz. At first glance, you'll notice the well-developed roads and buildings in the city. As you walk around, you'll realize that not much changes. The quietness is striking. The urban life here is so peaceful that visitors to Liechtenstein often find themselves craving some noise after a while. While the tranquility is appreciated, it can feel unusual. The streets are newly paved, but there's hardly any traffic. Offices line the streets on both sides, making it feel more like a large office complex than a country. Occasionally, you'll encounter a few locals, but to converse with them you need to know German, especially with those over 50 who aren't well versed in English. For those used to the hustle and bustle of large cities, Liechtenstein may quickly feel quiet and uneventful. Regarding architecture, you'll notice that there are hardly any large apartment buildings or gated communities. Housing is primarily composed of 2- or 3-story villas surrounded by forests and greenery. Beyond the houses, you'll find vibrant mountains. Almost every home has its own garden and private space, suggesting a life of wealth and peace for those who live here. This is the parliament building of this wealthy nation. In a country where billions of dollars flow annually, state affairs are conducted from this very spot. The current head of state is Prince Hans Adam II, a billionaire who has reached an advanced age. The prince holds significant political power in the country. He can dissolve the 25-member parliament if he wishes, veto laws, and even bring issues to a referendum. The normal term for the national parliament is 4 years, and the prince oversees its affairs. As you move closer to the squares in Vaduz, particularly in the Old Town area, you'll notice a variety of shops, cafes, and hotels ready to serve you. The streets in the market are paved with cobblestones, and the cafes provide a luxurious atmosphere for relaxation. However, considering that the shopping stores here cater to billionaires, buying anything other than food and drinks will likely be more expensive than in other parts of Europe. While strolling through the squares in this country, you may frequently spot the national flag, which consists of 2 horizontal stripes of red and blue. At the top of the blue stripe is a golden crown. The blue and red horizontally striped flag was officially adopted in 1921. But an incident in 1936, when it was too similar to the flag of Haiti, led to the addition of the princely crown. This crown unmistakably signifies that this country is a principality. On the other hand, if you explore the city center, you'll notice that most of the residents are adults or elderly. Young travelers often skip this country when touring Europe because there is no extensive hotel chain in the country, and local hotel operators charge around $150 per night per room. Today, there are only about 35 hotels in the country, and considering that dining in cafes is also quite expensive, not every traveler can comfortably visit here. Those who do come are mostly wealthy individuals who come for skiing and mountaineering. Even those born in Liechtenstein often travel abroad frequently when they are young, as the entertainment sector in the country is almost non-existent and pales in comparison to other European countries. In the city center, there are only a few live music venues. I don't know about you, but living a village life in the lush green landscapes of this country is one of the unparalleled opportunities in the world. Doesn't this visual panorama really warm your heart? There isn't a single piece of litter or unnecessary person on the ground. It's like a different planet. Those charming houses and natural landscapes you see on postcards are actually taken from this country. So the mountain view village house shots that are commonly mistaken for Switzerland also provide examples from Liechtenstein, especially the region called Malbun in the country, which is a paradise of mountain village houses nestled among the mountains. Malbun, which is no different from Switzerland, offers a living standard in nature that will make you forget about the chaos and stress in the world. While you're there, you can capture beautiful natural landscapes and contribute Liechtenstein's art to the world by creating your own masterpiece. Liechtenstein, where people drive the latest model Audis, engage in beekeeping as a hobby in their gardens, and raise cows for fresh milk, is a land of vibrant, positive individuals living a free and natural life. Take this lady, for example. She's 80 years old and in great health, preparing organic spices and remedies from the plants she grows in her backyard. From this, we can understand that Liechtenstein is another paradise where factory-made foods are shunned, and children befriend animals. The country is so modest that during the national festivals held year-round, citizens and government officials mingle, eat, and drink together with no sense of mistrust or danger in anyone's mind. If you found the information about Liechtenstein in today's video interesting, please give us a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to TripLife so you won't miss out on our exciting explorations of unique countries around the world. Your support helps us continue bringing you new and captivating journeys. Click on the video that's now appearing on your screen to discover more surprises. Let us know in the comments which country you'd like us to explore in the next video. Thank you for joining us, and we look forward to seeing you on our upcoming adventures.